I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite
podcast
on the Citadel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Accidentally Casual, a podcast that is talking about sweet victory. My name is Tucker from Talking About Games, and with me are my co-hosts, Scott from BioWare Babbling.
What's up, nerds?
And Seeker, who is the community manager on the Discord channel.
I love how there's always supposed like she's the... What is she again?
Well, because it's like
she has something.
just the
I don't know
proper
what
word
it is,
for
though.
it.
But like, yeah, she has something.
When I do the intro, I hype the shit out of her, and then when you do it, Tucker, she's like,
well,
what?
I do have a... Well, actually, speaking of, though, sweet victory and the Super Bowl going on, I've been playing cricket today. And Seeker, my biggest question for you is, what the fuck?
I don't know how the fuck to play
And I also
cricket.
have a little side note here that I've
explanation
written
for
that the
this.
menu music for that game was banger. But cricket, I feel like that game is honestly gaslighting me. I was pitching for, or not even pitching, just like bowling or something, I don't know.
Yes.
For like an hour. I don't like, and it said like there's 90 overs left, and there's like 0.5 for 1 over. And I was thinking like, okay, so maybe we swap at like 10 or something. No. Like, okay, maybe we swap at 30. No. Okay, maybe we swap at 45, like halfway. No. We get to 90. I'm like, okay, it says that there's 90 overs, and I've been pitching for a damn near decade. Now, I've got to be swapping. And I hit 90, there's like a little cutscene thing, and all that stuff goes on. And I'm back to pitching. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like this game is making things up.
Tucker, I thought you were talking about you were actually pitching in real life. I'm like, Tucker, where in the flying fuck is there...
Is there a cricket in Seattle?
Yeah, where is a cricket field in fucking Seattle? There has to be at least
Cricket
one,
Green,
but
I
like...
believe.
They're like...
Okay.
They have 293 points, I have 6. And I'm like, we got this, team. Although, like, I don't know whenever I get to go up to bat. Maybe when some of the characters just die of old age. I don't get it. I'm confused.
Jeez.
I have no
How
explanation. I don't know why you're expecting me to time it like, yes, like, you know.
If anyone would like to explain how the flying fuck cricket works to Tucker,
Yeah,
I
see?
do
the
not
easiest
do
way
the
to do
sport
that
ball.
is to go onto our Discord group, join us there, and tag him in a message, probably either in casual
Oh,
or
I thought you were
somewhere.
telling me to join our Discord channel to ask there, and I'm like, buddy, I made the group.
No,
I'm
no.
there.
I know, but you're not.
It's called a plug.
You're
I'm
never
trying
here.
to do a plug, Tucker. So if you join us on the Discord, you can maybe explain to us how to do cricket, because
I do not do the
Yeah.
sport ball, though. I am a
I don't even-
newly-armed nerd who does not like to do physical activity, so I tend
There-
to
and then
respectfully maintain a distance from sports at all times.
and then you have the two Americans who don't know shit. So
I have 2 achievements in that game, meaning that Cricket 19 is forever on my account. And the 2 achievements that I got, the description, I don't even know what it's telling me that I did. And I did it in the game, and I'm still confused. One of them was about, like, I caught 3 balls after an edge. I don't know what that is. It was right here.
I mean,
Here
I
we
know
go.
how to
I
make
got
a
3.
euphemism out of
I
that, but
got
that's a whole
3
other issue.
dismissals in an inning with edges. I don't know what that means, and I scored a century without hitting a 6 with any player. I I don't know what that means. I feel like the game is making up words with me.
You know, I feel I can just make euphemisms out of each. You just keep on saying stuff like that, and I can make a euphemism out of it.
So, Seeker, tell us about how the British people edge.
I can answer one version of that question, and probably not for the whole country, but yeah.
I know that in America we have baseball, and that's also incredibly boring. But like the sides switch, they at least swap around, so you have different people doing different things.
And also you have other shit going on in like the stands, like here's snacks and here's other random fucking shit that's happening.
Well, in the tutorial, when I was hitting with the cricket bat thing, I like knocked the ball into the field like it was going to knock out a child. But like I'm just confused with it because they were just running back and forth. There was that one little wicket thing that they were defending, and I thought that's just like a base that they had to touch.
I can also confirm there's a lot of running back and forth. I can confirm that much.
Like, I thought those were the bases. They just had to tap those, but if like one gets hit, that's an out?
Yes.
Or not even an out, it's like I get a point?
I don't remember half the fucking rules. You do realize this, right?
Like, as a child, reading Harry Potter, and some of the rules, it was like, oh, why does this make sense, having the Seeker when they catch the snitch? It's like 150 points, or some of the rules are going on. It just didn't make sense.
Tucker,
but now that I see that you guys like cricket.
So
yeah, but it's like 150 points, and then there's people like...
Yeah, I literally understand Quidditch more than I do cricket.
Well, I understand now where the inspiration comes from. It's just like, rules are just being made up.
Jeez.
Well, any sport is just a series of rules being made up.
Yeah, it's just a gentleman's agreement that they're not going to just hit each other.
Up. Eventually someone decided a word, they wanted a word for a thing, and that made up a load of sounds.
Seeker, let me tell you my rant of how money is made up.
Yeah, money is totally made up, and it is bullshit. I'm not denying this.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, yeah.
The only value money has is the value that we all agree it does. So if we all agree that money is bullshit, then money has no value. And it is the entire basis of our fucking capitalist society, and that should fucking terrify most people.
Before we move on,
yes,
it's funny when people have conversations like this, and and people freak out about the esotericness of like, oh, money is absolutely meaningless, or words are absolutely meaningless, and it'll make
God is dead.
And then there's my anthropological ass who has a degree in anthropology who just sits there and And can you explain to me how that works within a Marxist structure, please? Or under a Geertz framework, please? Like, it's always so funny, the people who always kind of, like, how it's just like, especially when people talk like, oh, well, shit's just made up, and it's like, yeah. And?
That's the other thing I love about seeing people try to justify, like, how, basically the older religions are better than ones like Scientology. Like, because that's just clearly made up. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
keep going.
Some of the older stuff is more fun.
Explain to me what this is more ridiculous than the shit you believe in. Go on, I'll wait.
I just think some of the older stuff is more fun, like all the Greek and Norse and all that story stuff.
The Greek and Norse stuff and Egyptian stuff, because it's now more ingrained in the world as a mythology. Like, of course, I know there's still places in like Iceland where they still worship the Norse gods and have it as a religious practice. However, it's more in the general consensus. It's more considered a mythology. Therefore, it's been more incorporated into culture and stories, and we feel more comfortable. I feel like we're crossing into some nebulous territory here, because I think because all of these things began as stories, the fact that we're now comfortable incorporating them back into stories is actually kind of fascinating. But I don't want to dismiss anyone who does have faith in those particular things. But like the Greek pantheon in particular are just such a clusterfuck of vicious bastards, basically. And it's just like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? And but it makes more sense because we are a cantankerous, horny bunch of monkeys running around, and having those represent us as our gods is like, yep, that totally makes more sense.
And people are also about to kind of become a lot more familiar with the Egyptian mythology because Moon Knight trailer just dropped.
That is a hell of a
Moon
segment.
Knight has, and Moon Knight has a bunch of like Egyptian mythology stuff surrounding it.
Yeah. So I guess the topics that we're going to be talking about today is like today on day of recording, we had two big trailers drop. It was Moon Knight and also Doctor Strange. Both.
Well, there's probably other trailers or stuff, but at least those two are the ones that we.
Those are the ones
that's
that are
what
the
we
big
care
ones.
about. That's what we want to talk about today.
So in the trailer for Moon Knight first, because that one was like 30 seconds.
Yeah, Moon Knight.
With Khonshu is the main person that kind of like gives Moon Knight his powers.
He's Warlock patron, yes. That's a D&D joke.
People don't really know who Ethan Hawke is playing.
Ethan Hawke? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought you meant... I got confused. I'm sorry, that is my fault. I rescind my comment.
Okay.
I am fucking tired, okay? It's been a long week.
So people are kind of unsure of who Ethan Hawke is playing. In the captions for the trailer, his name is like Arthur Hawthorne or something like that, who's this extremely obscure villain who only appeared
he seems
once.
Obscure as fuck. But in the new trailer, he's got like a set of scales with two crocodile heads on them, and that is a mythological thing where your worth would be measured by I forget the crocodile god's name. I think it's Sobek and Anubis. And they would weigh your heart against the weight of a feather, and if it was lighter than the feather, then you could proceed into the good afterlife, for lack of a better term, and if it was heavier than the feather, then you would have to go to the bad afterlife, as it were. The names of which I can't quite
Sobek
remember.
was the god of the Nile.
Yes, and also sperm, because the Egyptians were fucking weird. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some weird shit with the Egyptians.
But so, like, it may be...
I'm not saying there's not weird shit with the Greeks
character,
too, but there was... Yeah,
his character is getting power from Anubis, and maybe some sort of character like that. And in the first trailer, we see Moon Knight just beating the absolute crap out of this one kind of big
it doesn't seem like a human dude, I'm just saying. Like,
so
he's
it could
a very
be like one of
chunky
Anubis's people things.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was literally introduced in a comic called Werewolf by Night, so fuck it, we might be having werewolves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they
there
are
was a
building
chunk
up
of the
the
90s
Midnight
where
Suns.
Captain America was a werewolf, so...
Yeah.
They are building up the Midnight Suns with Blade, Black Knight, Moon Knight, and all of them. And so, like, the MCU, with the first few phases, was building up to the Infinity Saga, like the Infinity War. And now, it has multiple things going off. It has the real, just like planet Earth kind of stuff
the
with
cosmic stuff, the stuff on
whatever is going on with the Dark Avengers or Thunderbolts that they're kind of building up, as well as the Young Avengers. Then they have the cosmic stuff with Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor 3,
Adam Warlock, who's already confirmed and cast, so yeah.
And then the stuff with Wanda and Doctor Strange, and we'll like talk about Doctor Strange in a second, but then with Moon Knight and all the other things, they have the supernatural kind of stuff with vampires and werewolves and all that stuff. Like, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the one thing I would say is kind of weird about Moon Knight is a weird bunch of intersectionality that on paper shouldn't work. Like, he is a Jewish individual who gets his powers from Anubis.
No, Khonshu.
Also has Khonshu, which is an Egyptian god who also possibly has multiple personality disorder. Or
Oh,
God
he
knows
definitely
what
has
he
else.
multiple
does.
personalities.
He does. And the questionability
He's
or the
DID as
questionable
fuck.
thing
And
is Khonshu really speaking to him, or is that just another one of his personalities? Or at least that's kind of like part of his origin.
And also to finish off, probably is one of the most hyper violent heroes
Oh yeah.
in just Marvel existence. Like, he is up there with like Punisher levels of violence, if not more so, depending on like the Punisher uses guns versus like he uses fucking bare fists and knives at best. Like, that's kind of the weird thing with him. Like, if I were to put all of those things, like, hey, this is going to be a superhero, and put those all on paper, that should not be a character that makes it past, like, the initial, like, the writing block. That doesn't even leave, like, the proposal stage of, like, no, we're not going to go with this. This
Have
shit
you heard
makes
of
literally
Condiment
no
King? Or any other the bullshit like,
Well,
holy
that
shit,
was
we
like
need just someone
the
to fight
old
today.
stuff. Like, that's where Polka Dot Man and everything
Yeah.
came from, was the old Batman stuff.
Well, yeah, like a villain. I can see
Moon Knight is
Moon Knight being a
A
villain.
much more recent thing.
Yeah, I can see Moon Knight being a villain, 100%.
He was initially.
I think when he was first introduced, I think he was.
He was, yeah. And
I
then
wouldn't
people
be
were just like,
surprised,
this guy
'cause
is
Punisher was
fucking
the exact same
interesting.
way. Well, I know. I wouldn't be surprised if he's also, while technically he probably has older comic book origin, and I don't know the comic book.
No,
origin.
he's kind of recent-ish.
Yeah,
I think.
well, I wouldn't be surprised if he came out of like, if he has like ties all the way back to like the 60s, 70s, or 80s. I would not be surprised if he gained popularity in the 90s when there was that dark, edgy, super violent, like all our like that's where you get
The
the
most
Punisher,
famous panel of Moon
Cable.
Knight is him in Dracula's castle going, I know you're here, Dracula, you big fucking nerd, where's my goddamn money? Like, I don't understand how you can't love this batshit idiot. The other other most famous panel from Moon Knight comic is when he's facing off against Frank Castle, and they clearly just hate each other's guts, but he's just like, hey, Mark's still crazy. It's like, hey, Frank, your family all still dead?
Jesus.
Fuck, dude!
There's one where, again, he was talking with Punisher, and Moon Knight was like, I was on the Avengers, and Punisher was like, so what? Everyone's been on the Avengers. And I think even Dracula has been on there at some point. And Moon Knight says, no, he wasn't. I asked him.
Yeah, because he is weirdly mates with Dracula.
But another fun fact also with Moon Knight is Taskmaster does not avoids fighting Moon Knight because
he's so
Moon Knight
batshit.
will sometimes. Well, yeah, because Moon Knight's so batshit crazy. Sometimes he'll just take a punch just to take the hit. Like, so sometimes he'll just let the other person just beat on him because he'll just let that happen. Like,
Yeah.
so Taskmaster has difficulty with that because, like, yeah, it's just he's awesome. I'm so excited for the show.
It's more, I'm talking about Moon Knight on paper. Moon Knight on paper is a character that makes absolutely no sense. Like, yeah, there's weird comic shenanigans. Trust me, I'm very aware of the long litany of that. But, like, just on paper, the weird intersectionality and descriptors he has, it's like, this should never have made the cutting room floor. How the fuck did this character ever get published, let alone get a successful comic book line, let alone become popular enough that he could get his own MCU TV show? Like,
because he's fucking interesting, and Oscar Isaac was like, that one, he's mine.
Yeah, I am also
that one,
loving
the crazy one.
Oscar Isaac's acting.
Yeah.
I'm just a sucker for trailers. Like, I will just outright admit, I am one of those losers that just fawns over trailers no matter what they are. Like, I just love the hype with trailers. Oscar Isaac in the shots of him, kind of like he looks like he's just playing it so well. I'm so excited to.
His accent is a smidge shaky. I'm not gonna lie, but honestly, I'm so convinced that when he is in Moon Knight mode, he's good. Because he's like Steven when he's British, and I think when he goes into Mark/Moon Knight mode, he's going to have an American accent.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's going to be times where he's talking to himself, swapping between.
There's no way
that's
going to
be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's just going to be phenomenal acting with that.
Oh, I forgot my other favorite Moonlight related comic book panel, which is there's a room that has, I think it's Mockingbird or like Miss Marvel asks the question, where she goes into a room full of superheroes, and I think it's Luke Cage, The Thing, Black Cat, and Spider-Man. Just says, anyone here dated Moon Knight? And there's a chorus of like, no, and then Spidey says, a little bit. Peter, can you elaborate on that, please?
Wait, who says a little bit?
Spidey.
Peter Parker.
Oh,
Peter Parker.
Nice.
Oscar Isaac.
That's where Spider-Man 4 is going. That's why they're introducing Moon Knight. He's going to be Spider-Man's love interest in.
I am sure that,
it's going to be a love triangle with him and Deadpool.
Any sort of, any sort of cojones whatsoever, they would take Andrew Garfield, slap him in the Spidey suit, and then put him in a buddy rom-com with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
I'm going to be honest, I would need to see more of Tom Holland. But I don't think.
I'm not saying like
as
super
well as Peter. Andrew Garfield, I think, could do it better, because I think Andrew Garfield's a better actor compared to the two of them.
It's also that thing of, because Tom Holland is so much younger, like there's just too much of an age difference. I'd feel weird if they were trying to play like a slightly romantic chemistry with Ryan Reynolds and Tom Holland. But Andrew Garfield, like I said, they've literally already made out voluntarily for no other reason than just like, yeah, you want to make out. I love those two. But so just fucking do it. And yeah.
And the other trailer is Doctor Strange too.
What?
And that one also exciting.
That one I will say is the meatier of the two.
Because
it was like a 2-minute trailer. Yeah. The Moon Knight one was just kind of like a sizzle.
Well, yeah, it's a teaser trailer. It was the announcement trailer to that versus like we pretty much got the teaser trailer for Multiverse of Madness when Spider-Man Far From Home came out. So,
and Doctor Strange 2, the trailer shows Patrick Stewart, or not.
We can totally hear Patrick Stewart. There's no way
Patrick
it's not
Stewart.
him. I've listened to that man
him.
talk my entire goddamn life. There's no way it's not him.
Yeah, so spoiler alert for that one. We really should have just let off with like spoiler alert.
Well, we're talking about the trailer, so if they don't,
and just like
But like one thing as well, like that group more than likely, if I were to gamble money on it, that more than likely is the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Which, for those who don't know, the Illuminati are essentially a collection of the smartest, superheroes within any given particular universe. And
members
essentially
have
they try
included
to orchestrate things behind the scenes.
Charles Xavier, Reed Richards, Submariner, Tony Stark,
Black
Doctor
Bolt.
Strange, Black Bolt, a couple of others as well. But it's mostly
was also in there for a little bit as well.
I'm sure someone's...
It's the leaders of each kind of group. It's Professor X, because he leads the X-Men. Iron Man, because he leads the Avengers. Namor, because he leads the Atlantis and all that stuff. T'Challa, because he leads...
Not enough
Wakanda.
women,
Black Bolt leads the Inhumans. And then Doctor Strange is like a defender of like the multiverse or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, like... Yeah, more than likely, that's probably what that is going to be. I will say, though, honestly, I think the easiest way to go through like, to even explain Multiverse of Madness, you have to go frame by frame, because for a 2-minute trailer, they pack a lot.
Oh, I'm so excited for the YouTube videos that break this down. I'm looking at my subscribers, the people that I subscribe to, and I'm like, ooh, I'm ready.
On the poster, you can also see Captain Carter's shield. If you look at the broken pieces of glass, one of them has Captain Carter's shield. I'm like, yes!
Oh, you see Captain Carter's shield, Miss Marvel. Well, yeah. Miss Marvel and probably...
Is that, like,
both?
Are we sure that's Miss Marvel, or is that someone similar?
It could be, like, an alternate universe version, but it's definitely her powers,
it is.
How she uses them, so I'm inclined to think it's...
So you have Miss Marvel and probably also Captain Marvel. They're both in there. You have possibly what is, like, evil Doctor Strange from... What if you have... Oh, jeez, there's so much to unpack.
There's been rumors left, right, and center about who's in it, who's been cast in it, and the most consistent one I've heard is that John Krasinski and Emily Blunt have been cast as Reed Richards and Sue Storm. Now, I would just like...
Is there Tom Cruise as an Iron Man
I don't buy that one at all. I do not buy that one at all. However... now the Illuminati are in it, and Tony Stark has been kind of a thing, and I even wouldn't have thought that if they hadn't put, like, Ultron bots in there. Those are totally Ultron bots. You can't... The head shape is too similar. If you look, they even got the little wings on the side of their head. Like, it's slightly different from the ones we've seen, but it's definitely Ultron bots, and now I'm feeling like, fuck, did they do the thing? The John Krasinski thing.
I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Cruise. So
no, me neither. But here's the thing:
hoping they didn't include him in there.
Same. But like with him, I saw Edge of Tomorrow, and because it's such a non-Tom Cruisey role, I actually ended up really enjoying him in it because he wasn't doing his usual ego trip like he did.
I mean, also, what if it's not even like much even the story? If it's just they're going through all the multiverses, they see one, and during the "I am Iron Man" speech, it's just like Tom Cruise standing there, and they just like zip by that. Like, that'd be cool.
You normally would
see the other multiverses like that.
Generally speaking, if they are going to do something like that, they would generally involve them more in marketing, because then it would bring people in. Like, okay.
Well, they brought the entire original...
Is actually Zendaya from... I forget her whole name, but like Zendaya from who plays MJ in Far From Home. She's also in Dune, but she does like... I think she's maybe in less than 2 minutes of the entire film, but she is in the vast majority of the marketing.
I still haven't seen Dune. I need to see that.
I still haven't seen Dune, but I've heard it's good. I've heard good things. I'm not like down on Dune, but yeah. However, like, I'm extremely fucking intrigued by what the fuck is going on, because, like, for one thing, nice to see Sam Raimi back with doing some superhero shit. I'm just saying, and the fact that, can you imagine when when they had that scene in Spider-Man 2 where J. Jonah Jameson is trying to come up with a name for Dr. Octopus, and he's like, how about Doctor Strange? He's like, it's taken. Can you imagine just like siding up to Sam Raimi, like, hey mate, in like 20 years time you're going to be directing Doctor Strange too? You would get kicked out of that fucking building so fast. Like, what bullshit are you talking about? Like, nope, here we are.
Not just that, but like...
Oh, they would I
feel like trying to explain...
slap that shit onto a tabloid because of just how nonsensical it would be. Like, no one would ever believe this.
Well, I feel like trying to explain what the MCU is to someone 15 years ago, or like even when the first Iron Man movie was coming out, to then explain Infinity War and Endgame pretty much locking the entire internet down so people would not do spoilers. Like,
even just like the mind-blowing thing of like, who do they get to kick off this whole, integrated multiverse of different characters. Oh, Iron Man, that guy who is basically known to the general public as like a C-lister, maybe. You've probably heard of him and know a bit of his backstory, but it's nowhere near among the ranks of like Spider-Man or the X-Men or anything like that. It's like they're gonna kick it off with Iron Man. Are you fucking serious? It's like, yeah.
Honestly, or just the fact that, like, if you're talking to someone from 15 or 20 years ago, just talking about that, the MCU is going to get so large and so powerful that it is considered too big to fail. Like,
and then it's releasing multiple
the movie industry. They do not want the MCU to fail because the MCU is keeping the movie theater industry afloat.
You know what? I just saw a GIF of the previous Moon Knight trailer, and it's the one where he's beating the shit out of that monster thing. Not only is it deciding not human, I can finally see what the face shape is. It's a jackal. It's a jackal man. It is totally going to be like an Anubis thing. So yeah, that's cool. Totally down with that.
But like, and just also the fact the MCU has released multiple movies in the same year as well as shows and stuff. People have talked about superhero. Oh, geez, I'm burping. People have talked about superhero fatigue, and that was a possibility. But I feel now that they've branched so many genres.
Yeah, I was going to say, they realized quickly what the secret was. And the secret is, as long as you keep making different genres of thing and give it to different enough directors, so, like, you get, like, Chloe Zhao, like, you say what you like about the Eternals, but it did not fucking feel like an MCU movie.
It really didn't.
No,
and like that,
and it was
that's
good.
the one thing I keep thinking of is that one shot of Druig when he's going down the temple. Mm-hmm. Like, and the fire's going on, and that shot was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I do love is that Chloe Zhao said, like, the Eternals was a massive response on her part to Man of Steel. I'm like, you know what? I fucking see it. I really fucking see it. Because you've got, like, the Icarus who's, like, this distant, like, godlike figure whose only point of connection is the woman he's in love with. And I'm like, yep, that definitely feels like the Zack Snyder Superman. Just saying.
But so my theory with the Doctor Strange 2 trailer thing, because you were, Seeker, you were wondering, like, why does Wanda have blood on her?
Well, yeah.
I think
she's totally killed someone.
I think Wanda kills the Illuminati in that universe.
Oof,
I think Wanda is actually going to be the villain.
Yeah, that's
Doctor
been a
Strange
theory
2.
for a while, because here's the thing,
I'm
the
not
most
gonna lie
famous
to you,
thing...
The only reason why I am not a big fan of that theory is because of the fact if Patrick Stewart is a part of the Illuminati and I have to watch him die again in front of my eyes, I don't think I can emotionally handle that, okay?
I think, like, Wanda's going to absolutely fuck shit up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's going to just ruin the Illuminati there. In that scene where she's kind of talking to herself, it may be one multiverse Wanda trying to, like, stop the other.
Here's the thing I think is going to happen, right? I think, because the last thing we heard at the end of WandaVision, right, was her with the book, and then she had her kids, right? So I think she's going to brush through some sort of alternate dimension where they are alive, or they're, in some way, they're calling to her, and she goes towards them like, those are my babies, I'm going to go get my kids, and either, like, Strange or Mordo is like, no, you can't do that, and she's like, you don't get to tell me what I can and can't do, you fuckwit, and then she's just going to eviscerate him. I think it'll probably be Mordo.
There's also going to be Shumagorath in the movie.
Sorry?
Shumagorath is also going to be in the movie.
I have no idea who that is.
So it's not exactly shown. With the tentacle monster thing that's throwing the bus at Strange.
Oh, yes, that. Sorry, yeah.
Shumagorath is this, like, top-tier, powerful type thing.
It was in What If, so yeah.
Yes, I think that was... I don't know if they confirmed it, but yes,
totally
I think...
Is. Like, the fact that they got
Doctor I think Shumagorath... I think when Wanda was going through the Darkhold, she got into communication with Shumagorth, who kind of like in Shang-Chi, when whatever the bad thing, whatever its thing was called, speaking to
not
the
the
father.
Mandarin. Oh god, I forget his name. Yeah, that guy. Shang-Chi's dad.
Yes, we are phenomenal
Whose
at
name
this.
is yeah. He's so good in the role as well, and I just can't remember his name. I'm so sorry.
Something akin to that, kind of planting this thing in her head and driving Wanda to be this force. And I think she's going to kill the Illuminati and going to be going through the multiverses trying to... Because American Chavez is also in this movie. And her power is she can teleport through multiverses. Like, that's kind of what her thing is.
Let's not forget the most famous thing that Wanda ever did in the comics, which is no more mutants. Which, if you don't know, they've basically been setting all the major cards up for Wanda to have a massive fucking meltdown. Bear in mind, there's obviously had the WandaVision Westview incident happen, but even then, that was mostly contained. Like, that was kind of internalized, and then she just put a bubble around herself and tried to live a fantasy, basically. She didn't try to really affect the rest of the world. Now, because she's a Scarlet Witch, she can just do that if she feels strongly enough, and if she had the knowledge and will to do something very messed up.
What I think she's going to do in WandaVision, Agatha tries to steal Wanda's power. That's kind of like Agatha's deal. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what Wanda's going to try to do with American Chavez. And that's going to will turn Wanda into the villain, is she'll try to absorb or steal American Chavez's power, and Doctor Strange will be trying to protect her. And so she'll be kind of like a third party with the Illuminati, and they'll like try to stop her and she'll kill them.
I think it'll be a bit more nuanced than that, because don't forget we still have Doctor Strange Supreme dicking around, and he's definitely going to be the one who will instigate.
Also, I don't think that is the Doctor Strange from the What If. He is going to appear in the movie, but I think that is a third Doctor Strange. That is just the Doctor Strange in that Illuminati. And I think maybe to help fight Shumagorth, like, near the end, because how there's also Captain Marvel is a little bit... not Captain Marvel. Captain Carter. No, Captain Carter.
Okay.
Her shield is there. So, they are pointing some of the what if stuff that the third Doctor Strange, the full Supreme Doctor Strange, will also be coming in. But I think the one that they show in the trailers is not the same one with What If. And I also have one more big prediction for this movie.
Okay.
Is that this movie is going to introduce Deadpool into the MCU, and it's going to do it via after credit scene with like a portal being left open or something like that, and Deadpool being like, "Oh, do I smell money?" And like
or something
hopping
to that effect,
in.
yeah.
Because
I missed the Spider-Man reunion. Are you kidding me? That would be great.
I think that is the perfect way to introduce him. Because if this is like Patrick Stewart,
because he's like everyone's come and said this is the first MCU horror, and you got Sam fucking Raimi, Year of the Evil Dead, and countless other horror.
So excited!
But that's the thing. I think there's going to be some horrific shit in this, in terms of like conceptually, visually. They've just said, "Here, Sam, go to town. Here's all the money. Do what you want." And I'm sure he's done everything in his power to fucking do.
Deadpool 3 is confirmed. And it's confirmed in the MCU.
And it's being written by the two women who are running Bob's Burgers at the moment, which I'm so happy for.
So they have to bring him in occasionally.
I'm going to say this, and this isn't meant to poo-poo on you, Tucker, because I love your theories.
Yes.
I honestly don't... I don't trust Marvel when it comes to trailers. Not in regards of, Marvel can't make a trailer to save their life. Fuck no. It's the opposite. Their trailers are so tailored and so goddamn well edited that you can't trust them.
Like if you look at the Infinity War trailers, like Thanos doesn't have the stones at certain scenes.
Oh yeah,
Thor's eye.
Thor's eye is a prime example, or just the fact of like they will put in multiple red herrings. They'll put in stuff that's never actually in the film. Like they put in, and if it was like my favorite one was like when we were analyzing the trailer for No Way Home, and I was talking like, no, this like they are purpose like that editing, like everyone was calling it an editing error where it's like the lizard was like jumping and getting punched. I'm like, oh fuck no.
No.
Yeah, no. Hell no. That was not a accidental editing error. That was
someone else kicking him in the face.
They wanted that was them wanting to them trying to be like, oh, I guess we must have missed something.
Well, it was like the trailer for specifically a different country or something.
No, was it? Bro, that's one of the oldest tricks in the book. Is you leak it as this is the Brazilian or insert or Belgian or insert other country other than fucking America. Trailer, they made this editing error, which they didn't. It was 100% on. Like, if it was any other studio, I could believe it maybe being an editing error. But with the fact that doing
it was Sony that did the stuff for that. It wasn't.
Okay, Marvel still has enough of a history of I can sit there and go, yeah, no, this fucking checks out. They are too good at making trailers to make me make me think this was an accident. And the idea of, doing fake leaks, testing leaks and stuff like that, that is so... BioWare does that all of the time.
The thing that makes me laugh, though, is that because Disney notoriously doesn't really do market research, so... when Frozen came out, someone at Disney was just like, oh, you know who little girls are gonna love? Not the Ice Princess, they're gonna love her boring sister, Anna. So they got a load of Anna merch, and no Elsa stuff, and then for, when the Elsa craze happened, no one had anything. And the same thing with Encanto, everyone was just like, oh, you know who the little girl's gonna love? It's gonna be the nice girl who makes flowers! When actually all the little girls love the super strong lady. And I just think that's kind of hilarious, really, that Marvel is so on point, yet they're owned by Disney, and Disney cannot get their shit together in terms of figuring out why they think they know better than what little kids like. Little girls. Either way, I thought that was fun.
Yeah, but it's like, they are so good at that, and it's like, and the biggest problem is, I still don't... I watched the trailers for... I have, at this point, watched several trailers for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and I can not tell you what that movie is going to be about. I can't tell you who the antagonists are going to be. I can't tell you really much about the film. And I don't think that's a bad thing. If you look at it, the idea of, oh, well, Doctor Strange, you've been messing around with, reality and time too much. You need to pay for your crimes. And it's like, okay, motherfucker, which time? He's done it, 3 times at this point. You need to kind of narrow it down a bit. So it's the idea of, oh, well, he's going to have to pay tenants for that, or he's going to have to fix the multiverse. That's kind of a thing that's already, yeah, but what incident? What time? We don't know. There's too many variables. And it's interesting that they're choosing that route, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. They're really, I really think they do not want... I think they're really trying to throw the audience for a loop as much as possible.
There's another trailer that just dropped as well for
Just
Doctor
now?
Strange 2. It's like a 30-second little TV spot, and it has zombie Wanda from What If.
Okay, do we just want to pause this
That
for
is-
just a moment, roll fast, and watch?
That is insane.
Here,
Like,
do we want to drop that in real fast? Pause it.
we're still recording right now. We're still going.
Okay, fuck it, fine. Here, put it on watch 2 real fast. Let's go. Fine, you guys get to hear our reaction live to this. Alright, let's go, boyo.
Well, I actually need to find a good,
Trailer for it.
Just post
Yeah,
the link
because
in the
it's-
thing.
Bill, because all of it's being taken.
I've
Yeah,
mostly
here we go.
just pushed like the posted pictures of Moon Knight, including one where you're just like, well, I just think you're a fucking nerd who's never punched a werewolf before. It's like, yes, I love this guy already. Please give me more of this absolutely feral goblin man.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Also, please, I would like some more Loki. Loki would be good.
Oh, they have confirmed, or Owen Wilson has confirmed that Loki Season 2 is beginning filming soon.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, of course it's a fucking Super Bowl ad.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Don't mind us if we're just going quiet
So,
for a little bit.
There's another shot of Shumagorath there.
Mm-hmm.
There's
That,
a
what
different
the
shot of
fuck
Strange.
was that?
That was... Wait. Oh, Seeker just rewinded it. That's...
Who
See,
the
like...
fuck? What is
See, that's
that?
another Strange.
That's like
I know it's
Falcon
Doctor Strange because
Punch.
it's clearly Benedict
Tony
fucking
or-
Cumberbatch, but like, what is that? That is still
Oh,
Patrick
that's-
Oh,
Stewart.
wait for it,
He's
wait for it.
literally rolling up on wheels. It is no way he's not Charles Xavier.
And... Right there. Zombie Wanda.
Oh, that is creepy as hell.
Oh, I just rewound it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it goes back, it shows Wanda, like zombie Wanda, and then it's like
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Cumberbatch
yeah.
clearly got
Others-
to have a lot of fun with
Well-
this. Like, holy
Oh
shit.
yeah. Well. Also with that one, honestly, again, I'm looking at that and it's like they keep on introducing more and more things.
it's
And
going to
it's-
be nuts.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
am
They already
so-
said like the final cut of it is like 3 hours long, and I was just like, I don't need it to be 3 hours long. But if Sam fucking Raimi
No, I need
wants it to be
I
3
need it to
hours
be 3
long,
hours.
then I'll sit and watch a 3 hour goddamn Sam Raimi
Oh, yeah.
movie because why not? But honestly,
Oh, yeah.
if
Bring
half
back
the
the
shit
half,
I've heard
like-
is in it, then I'm totally psyched.
Yo, yeah.
They could bring back the half movie interludes. Like, I'm fine if they have like a
Intermissions.
5-minute little break in, but yeah, like
I think
No.
my favorite intermission of all time is the one in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Because the funny thing about that intermission is just long enough that most people would be able to get out of their seats and
And
like
then-
start moving,
Yeah.
but not fast enough to like be able to get snacks or food or go to the bathroom or anything like that. So they would be catching them like right as they were like in like
One of my
The
favorite intermission gags is in. Have you ever seen the show The Producers?
I haven't yet. No.
Okay, so basically, there's a song called "Betrayed," where basically at one point in the song, one of the characters singing it starts like walking through everything that happened up to this point, including at one point just saying "intermission," and then he just sits down, picks up the program with all the actors in it, and usually has something snarky to say about like I've heard there's some shows where they give like the score for the big game at that current moment, or
Mhm.
they end up saying things like, "Oh, he's good, but he's no Nathan Lane," that kind of shit. It's always funny. And like the one I saw, he picked up a little tub of ice cream and just looked at the audience and said, "How much?" Because of course they rinse you for the fucking ice cream. But either
But-
way, that's adorable.
talking about intermissions though. We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, 'cause I
That
need
that
to fucking
that
sleep.
was that one was awful.
Oh yeah, because all of my others have just been A+.
Yeah.
I mean,
For Tucker,
I
that
mean,
was like A+.
that was a Tucker A+. We'll
Yeah.
go with that. Well,
Adjusting
thanks for
correctly.
thanks for listening to us talk and ramble about goddamn Marvel and Also, the game of cricket. Can't believe that's the whole thing.
And actually, speaking of games and speaking of trailers, there was a trailer for the new Lego Star Wars game, too. It was like 6 minutes, shows all the gameplay. That game looks insane. There's so much content in that game.
They had a
it
little
looks incredible.
Where Poe, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Finn or Poe, but I think it was Finn, just looked at Poe and he just decided to go give Poe a cuddle instead of whoever he was with. I think he was with Rose, but I was just like, yes, they should.
It's going to have like over 300 characters. It has like over like 24 different planets that looks like you can land on and explore. It'll have a bunch of side missions.
Also, Book of Boba Fett was fucking great. And the finale was great, and I loved it. It was so good.
The new Lego Star Wars game is my most anticipated game of this year.
I do not doubt it.
I have thoughts on Book of Boba Fett, but we will save that for another time. Haha. One thing I do want to also bring up for everybody, so we've already kind of did a plug-in for a Discord. Please come join us there for fun shenaniganry. Our Discord actually is really into Destiny 2, and coming this February 22nd is going to be the new expansion Witch Queen that is going to be coming out. I know I have been scheduling the day off. Seeker, I don't know if you've scheduled it off or not, but we are going to try to live stream, actually.
Coordinate somewhat,
yeah. Trying to coordinate something to at least... Hopefully we're going to try live streaming it on our own, like, personal Twitches, but this isn't less like, we're trying to get, like, Twitch famous and shit like that, and more like, we want to try to get as much of the clan here as possible to play with us, but if they can't join us, well, maybe at least they can join us on Twitch and watch us go through the whole new content. But if you guys want to come watch us or come join us on Discord and also join us in our clan, please feel free to do so. We have a link down to our Discord in the description down below. But anyway, that will be it for today. I have been Scott from what the fuck?
What's your name again? From BioWare Babbling.
Thank you, that one. I swear I know what channel I'm a part of. We got Tucker from Talking About Games, and last but certainly not least, our lovely community manager, Seeker. Anyway, guys, alright, we'll talk to you guys all next time.
Bye.